I'm William Fitzsimmons, and I'm here to talk about my favorite record, which is Pink Moon by the late Nick Drake. And it's hard to say exactly why it's my favorite record. I think those things are usually tied up in many reasons. Some of which are emotional and personal, and other ones that are factual. But I think the biggest reason why is that it's the most honest and economical use of language and music that anyone's ever done. It's one of the shortest records. It's probably the shortest record that I own that's a full-length record. I think it's like 28 minutes or something, which is strange. And it's so full, and it contains 3 master tracks on it. It has acoustic guitar, it has vocals, and it has 1 piano track briefly. And when you finish listening through the whole record, which I've done probably too many times, you feel like you've just sat through a symphony or something. And the whole time it was just Nick sitting in a room and cutting just a couple of tracks. I don't know, it still kind of floors me. You can't, if you listen to it too much and you're a writer, then you start to get depressed because you sit down and you try to write a Nick Drake song and it comes out like shit, because nobody can do it exactly like he did. But yeah, it's a special work. I don't think anyone has ever gotten that much truth into that small of a package since he did it. The first time that I heard his music, I was actually working for my first job in the field. When I was working at an inpatient psychiatric unit. It's called a partially locked unit, because we locked the door when we had certain types of patients that needed full, protective care, schizophrenia and things like that, or people that were potentially violent that you needed to protect from themselves and from other people too. So I was living in this world of mental illness every single day. I went to work and I would come home, and I was myself going through a lot. At the time, I didn't know kind of how deep I was affected by some things that had gone on in my life. But I think whether I realized it or not, the record was just huge for me. And Pink Moon was the title track was the first song that I heard, and I heard it on a Volkswagen commercial, but I'm very thankful for it, because I never would have known about his music if not that. And I remember buying the record. I bought it off the internet, and I had to wait a few days, and it finally came, and I got off work, and it was like midnight, and I went down to the basement, and I put it on, and I turned out all the lights, and it was like halfway through, and it was already like my favorite album already, which was kind of dumb, but I don't know, it was just one of those rare experiences where somebody is speaking through 40 years or something of time, and just saying something that you really relate to very personally and very emotionally. And I don't think I cried or anything like that. A lot of music has brought me to tears, but I don't think I cried. It was just a very kind of brother to brother kind of thing. Like you can hear how alone he felt, and I guess that was very resonant to me at the time. 5 Leaves Left is a very good record. I don't really like it, but it's a very good record. Brighter Later is a very good record, and I love it. But now this is me, editorializing about it. But yeah, I kind of think they were both a little overproduced, honestly. that's just my, as someone who has produced music before, not a lot, I'm not terribly gifted at it, but I've done it before, and after hearing how powerful he is when it's very bare, very naked, you know, and then you listen to you listen to a song from Brighter Later, where there's really great string arrangements. I think Robert Kirby did the string arrangements and Joe Boyd did the production, and those are great guys. They did really good work, but it's hiding something. It's hiding some of the emotionality a little bit. They were trying to, they had a clinically depressed person with a guitar, and they tried to spruce it up. They tried to jazz it up a little bit, and it works because Nick was a very bold figure, so even his playing and his writing still came through, but it was just too hidden. It's like taking a really nice painting and kind of smearing it a little bit. That's what it felt like to me. So I still listen to those records because I love the writing, but it's just this was the masterpiece, and it's a shame that that he had to make it and feel so awful while he did it, but this was his masterpiece.